We just got a gorgeous new bathroom here in Virginia.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple.
Live free. New bathroom here in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. The one we've had has been the regular bathroom here has been very functional, but a couple things have been getting on my nerves about it for a long time, but it just wasn't very high on the priority list compared to other things. One was the fact that the cabinet under the sink was just probably from 1970 when the house was built, and just falling apart, and I never felt like I could get it as clean as I wanted to. And the sink I could scrub really well, and it was that good old burnt orange 1970s color, but it was so old that it never looked clean, and so that always just kind of drove me nuts a little bit. And then the walls were very weird old textured 1970s stuff.
The entire thing, the ceiling and the walls were all textured. I hate textured because even as a contractor, I hate it, especially as a contractor, because you can't patch it. If you have to put a hole in it for any reason and patch in a little bit, you can't match the texturing with the spackle and make it look right, because spackling or texturing is just like a fingerprint. Each person does it differently, and I can't match it. So I hate it.
Well, and then at one point they had put a very old little electric heater in there that was no longer being used, because we just always used the HVAC, and that old little heater down there in the bottom along the floor was just so ratty and rusted. So like I said, it certainly was a perfectly good bathroom. We put in a better toilet, which never fit exactly right because the floor was wonky. And so anyway, I was living with it okay. Bathroom. Yeah. And it actually around the corner here has like shelves built in behind the door.
Back there.
Yeah, has built-in shelves. So, and then just bathroom. We put in a nice cupboard up there that's kind of specially for Pop. And I've got my shower curtain from before and a curved curtain rod, which I just love.
Now this is old and falling apart. Eventually we'll replace that with something that matches that new cabinet that we just put up.
Yeah.
So then we bought this house in Florida.
Yeah.
And the previous owner had put in a metal ramp going into the front door, which is really nice.
Wonderful.
We don't actually need it, but it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Another thing that she did was replaced the full-size tub with a full-size shower.
Yeah.
And what we discovered was that, we've talked many times about Elizabeth's balance issues because of her stroke.
Because of the stroke, yeah.
And what we discovered was that in Florida, she had no problem at all getting into that shower, obviously. But then when we were up here in Virginia at Christmas time, and she tried to get into the tub and lift her leg up over the tub to get in, she had all kinds of balance issues. Yeah. So I really wanted to just replace that tub up here in Virginia with a shower.
Yeah, just put in a regular just walk-in shower. Yeah. And just, I had a bar here in this tub that Bill...
a grab bar.
A grab bar that he put beside the shower, and so that was at least something, but it was still often very difficult for me. One time when I was just trying to get out, I was trying to hang on to the one vertical grab bar, but I started losing my balance and kind of tripped and just instinctively grabbed out for the towel rack and knocked the whole thing off the wall, which was not cool too, because if you chip the wall, it's very difficult to repair it because it was the textured stuff. And so, I just discovered that I just do better if I can just step into the shower.
Yeah. So while we were up here this past Christmas, we just came back up for a couple weeks for Christmas time. We found out that a friend of ours who's a contractor was basically out of work temporarily, which happens especially in the winter for contractors. So we thought about it, and I decided to actually go ahead and hire him to do the job. And to tell you the truth, it's kind of a relief to get that project off of my plate, because I had a lot of other things I still have to do up here. And it was a low priority. We just kept putting it off because I had other things that were bigger priorities.
Yeah, we had other things that really needed to be done. But we looked at it and we thought, we can probably go ahead and just be able to have somebody else do this.
Yeah.
We could manage it.
So before we left at Christmas to go back to Florida, I went and bought, the new shower and the new sink and vanity and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
For him. And then, he did the work, and we were in constant touch. I'll tell you what, I am so glad
Yes.
that we got this done. As you find out in a second, it was absolutely essential. But I'm also glad he did it, not me. But anyway, so he took out the existing shower.
Which was, we figured it'd
I
just
mean,
be
the
this
existing tub
tub, yeah.
with a surround all around. And what he found behind it was completely covered with mold. Mold.
It's the last thing in the world.
And so-
There was no indication from the outside, from from the room.
Right. And so he kept following the mold and started taking some of the wallboard off. The entire bathroom, all of the walls, everything
The floor.
on the inside of the walls was all completely covered with mold. So it's no wonder Elizabeth was having so much trouble breathing up here. She kept saying, every time we went to Florida, she kept saying, I breathe so much better here in Florida than I do in Virginia. Which in the cold, when it's cold here in Virginia, I can understand that. But in the summer, there shouldn't be any difference. But she's still saying she breathes better there than here. Now we know why.
Oh, goodness. That was the last thing that my interstitial lung disease needed, was to actually have a room that the floor was about rotted out, and the wall, to have that much mold. It's just kind of, man, I'm glad it was found.
Also, behind the wall, behind the surround for the tub, he said that almost all of the insulation was gone out of that wall because mice had been going in there and pulling apart the fiberglass insulation to make nests out of it.
Oh, good
and
grief.
most of that insulation was gone. So,
We're in farm country, so there's just, you fight mice like crazy.
so it was a mess,
Yeah.
and the floor underneath was all rotten. He had to completely replace the subfloor. And so he completely stripped the bathroom
It was gutted.
and gutted it completely.
Yeah.
And he sent me a few pictures. Here's a few pictures of,
Oh, goodness.
of the bathroom after he completely gutted everything and then started all over again. And now it's beautiful.
Oh, I couldn't be more thrilled. For one thing, I know that it's clean now. Everything's been replaced, all the wood, everything is fresh and clean. It's not moldy, nothing's leaking, because whatever was going on in there, that leak has been stopped. It's not leaking. The toilet's actually more steady now because he discovered that our floor was kind of leaning toward the middle of the house. And so that's all leveled out now and did beautiful, beautiful work. But now, instead of that old sink that I can't get clean, oh, it's beautiful.
So we've been back here in Virginia for about a week and a half now. You've been in the house for a week and a half. How are you breathing?
Well, I think I feel pretty normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really noticed anything, which has got to be a good sign. And I went up the hill to Barry's house without too much trouble, which was really good.
Right.
I go down the hill to the mailbox and back up again. So I don't know, maybe it really is helping. I'm so glad. I'm just, so grateful. And so, yeah.
So should we go show them the new
yes,
bathroom?
I'm so excited.
Let's show you the new bathroom.
Welcome to my beautiful new bathroom. One thing that wasn't done before we got home was to have that installed because he didn't know for sure what we would want. So we went and picked that out and Bill installed it, and I love it. Gives us really nice bright light. But look at this absolutely beautiful sink. Everything's fresh and new under there. I got to kind of figure out what all I want to put under there. We wanted to match that dark brown, but when we went to buy this cabinet, they don't make that color anymore. So I've got another place I'm going to put the dark brown one, and we went ahead and matched the gray and just went ahead and replaced that. And so everything's nice and level now. Let me just,
The floor.
yeah. He gave us a couple of ideas for the floor. This is a beautiful quality flooring, and I love the colors. I love the silver and that little speck of the goldish going through it.
This is the same type of locked together floor that I used in my truck, but this is a much higher quality, and you can see where the seams come together completely tight and they don't separate like they did in the truck.
Yeah, we're pretty impressed with this flooring. It's interesting. I'll let Bill show you over here. This is his towel rack, and then this is mine, and this is now a very strong grab bar, which is a really good idea. And then here, this was going to be our little toilet paper holder. I got one that was going to match the sink faucet and all that, but then it turned out they really didn't fit beside the toilet very well. So this is a little bit narrower, and I still like to be able to hang my washcloth, so Bill put it there for me. And then we have this beautiful toilet paper holder that can be easily moved around. So, and this gorgeous, gorgeous big shower. Absolutely love it. We actually have a shower curtain and the rod right in the back there because it protects the window. But this can also easily be opened up. But it's nice having this here. This was our son's idea because it protects the window, and the window has not been damaged by water at all.
And so we got grab rails everywhere for her. We got 3 here.
Yes.
Now, these have to have support behind them.
Yes.
So he put supports in there before he put the surround on so that we could put grab rails there. Yeah. We got another one here, and we got another one here for her towel rack.
So I'm telling you, it just gives me so much confidence. And also, the floor of a shower like this, I gotta get that sticker off, I'll still do that. The floor of a shower like this is flat. The floor of a bathtub is sloped. And so this actually does give me better footing too. And I just got things I can grab everywhere. So, and I got some more of the same kind of shower curtain rings that I use in Florida, because here's the thing where the shower curtain has a joint, and my other rings were catching on that. But these things are wonderful. Watch, it doesn't catch at all. Woohoo!
Because of the little wheels on there.
Yes, because of the wheels. So I got these in that like kind of a bronzy color to go with my other bronze touches in here. But it is they work so well. So yeah, I just couldn't be more thrilled. And so far it's just working nicely. Everything feels so clean. If you want to come around here real quick, I'll show you. We have a closet area, a shelves area in here, and I went ahead and hung curtains.
He didn't do anything with the closet. That's as it was.
I'm gonna put some nice fresh liner on those shelves, and it just looks nicer with a curtain in front of it. Now, right down here was where that old ratty electric heater was on the wall.
It was an old baseboard heater.
Old baseboard, rusty, icky. And then our grate for our HVAC was very old, and this is the one Bill picked out to replace it. And I got to admit, it's so pretty. I love little details like that. After I picked out the shower curtain with those beautiful rich greens and everything in it, I realized I wanted to put a picture up. This used to be our towel rack here, but now the towel rack is here. And so I wanted to get something that would look really fun right here and would go with the green. And I just think it's the prettiest picture. It's like a tapestry, but it's beautiful flowers, but I love the vase. So I enjoyed that. And I've got this clock up here. I do have one that has not arrived yet that I think I'm going to put up. That is just a bathtub, and then on the picture, and then there's a clock. So, yeah, I'm discovering my interior decorator. Well, I am so grateful that we were in a position to be able to have somebody do that while we were gone. Yeah. I don't know if I could have even stayed in the house while that work was being done.
That's true. And with as old as I'm getting, I don't work as fast as I used to. And something that probably would have taken me 3 or 4 days 20 years ago would have taken me a week and a half to do now. And we'd have probably been staying in the camper truck that whole time, because you probably wouldn't even be able to come into the house.
I think that when he was working on the whole thing, he had like a professional grade like respirator mask thing on.
The contractor?
Because of the mold.
Right.
So, I'm just so grateful to have it out of there. And so besides the fact that it's clean and it's so pretty and I'm having fun putting stuff up, I'm just grateful that I know the mold is gone.
Yeah.
And we don't see any evidence anywhere else in the house of like mold,
Mm-hmm. One thing I want to do is get a mold tester. You can buy them at Lowe's. and you set it out in a couple places for a day, and then you mail it in and they test to see if there's any mold.
Probably a good
I
idea.
think that would be a good idea, just to test the rest of the house.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, yes, I'm thrilled to death.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Love you guys. We will see you very soon.
All right.
Bye bye.